All right, good evening. Very glad you're with us this evening as we're continuing to make our way through the period of the two kingdoms. This is the period of about 200 years that occurs in Bible history after the reign of Solomon, when Israel divides into two kingdoms, the northern kingdom being known as Israel. The southern, you had a 50-50 chance, right? The southern kingdom we're told in 1 Kings 17 and verse 6 that he took away the high places and the Asherim out of Judah. But it also seems, according to what we see there in 1 Kings 22, that maybe those high places were still being sinfully used to worship Jehovah. So they weren't being used for pagan practices, but they were still being used in worship of God. And what was the problem there? What was wrong about that? It was not where they were supposed to be worshiping. It was not what was instructed. He is also, according to 2 Chronicles 17 and verse 9, he sent Levites throughout Judah to serve as teachers. So it's not just restoration of the structures, but he is also, it's a restoration or revival among the people as he is making sure that the law is taught and proclaimed once more. He was also politically successful. 2 Kings 17 and verse 4 tells us that all Judah brought to Jehoshaphat tribute, and he had riches and honor in abundance. Generally speaking, it seems like, at least in the southern kingdom of Judah, he was the most glorious king that they had had since Solomon. But he made wrong alliances. Prior to this point, there had been fairly frequently wars between Israel and Judah. But we're told 1 Kings 22 and verse 44 that Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Well, okay, so what? Well, again, who's ruling Israel when he comes to power? Ahab. What do we remember about Ahab? Nothing good about him, right? He formalizes the worship of Baal through the influence of his wife Jezebel. He has the prophets of Jehovah God put to death. His son, Ahaziah, we're going to see here in just a little bit, was just as bad. And what has Jehoshaphat done? He's made peace and alliances with them. As a matter of fact, if you're maybe you want to bookmark, because like I said, we'll be jumping back and forth a little bit between the records of the Kings and the records of Chronicles. 1 Chronicles 19 and verse 2, we have a seer we're introduced to. Jehu, the son of Hanani the seer, went out to meet him, that is King Jehoshaphat, and said to King Jehoshaphat, "Shouldest thou help the wicked and love them that hate Jehovah? For this thing wrath is upon thee from before Jehovah." So yes, he had done a lot to reform things and improve things there in Judah, but ultimately those alliances with Ahab and Azariah caused problems, not as much in his reign directly, but we're going to see very much so in the reigns of the next few kings that come after him. Meanwhile, back up in the northern kingdom, Ahab's son Ahaziah reigns, but only for a period of about 2 years, beginning in the 17th year of Jehoshaphat, so call it 853 to 852 BC. He continued in all of the same sins of Ahab. We did suggest, if you remember last week, near the end of Ahab's reign, it seems like he did humble himself before God, but if there was any genuine repentance, it didn't carry over to his son. As a matter of fact, Ahaziah, his son, is going to be injured in a fall, but rather than seeking healing or even instruction from God and from the prophets of God, he seeks instruction from Beelzebub. He goes to, literally, this is the same name that will be used of the devil later on in the New Testament. He seeks healing from him, and as a result of that, he dies after that fall and leaves no heir. So the kingship then passes to his brother, Jehoram, also known as, or also sometimes spelled Joram. He is the son of Ahab, the brother of Ahaziah. he's going to reign 12 years, beginning in the 18th year of Jehoshaphat. This is according to 2 Kings 3 and verse 1. So call it 852 to 841 BC. Now, to his credit, there is going to be partial religious reform in Israel. If you're there in 2 Kings 3, verses 2 and 3 tell us that he did that which was evil in the sight of Jehovah, which, okay, doesn't sound good, and granted it's not good. But, we are told, it was not like his father and like his mother, for he put away the pillar of Baal that his father had made. So he at least temporarily, they back away from the paganism and the Baal worship. Nevertheless, he cleaved unto the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, wherewith he made Israel to sin. He departed not therefrom. If you remember, I told you when the kingdom split and Jeroboam built those two golden calves and he changed